Okay, day 36. Sphere of Mars, the astral plane, the astral tree. So one of the thing I want to deal with today is the question to ask yourself: do you actually really want the responsibility of these powers? Something you have to ask yourself: do you actually really want it? It was all very well thinking at the beginning of this course when I said about being like a living God. Um, Seems like a great thing, but really you have to ask yourself seriously: do you actually feel you can deal with the responsibility that's going to go along with that? Having the power of life and death over people just by thinking about it. I'm not saying that we'll actually get to a point where lightning bolts will fire out of your fingertips, but you know, something, the effect that these things will have will be something similar to that. So that's kind of an awesome responsibility. Now, the other thing to ask yourself, I mean, from my point of view, I think, could I do a better job than the people running the world at the moment? And the answer, I think, is yes. You know, at least on the surface, I feel that I could. Um, on the other hand, do I actually have the emotional maturity to deal with all these energies and responsibilities? And if I'm honest, I'd say probably not. So that's like something I've still got to have to deal with. So if I'm having trouble getting these powers working, there's probably a good reason. It's because I'm not emotionally mature enough to deal with it, deal with all these responsibilities, and that's something you have to ask yourself as well. You know, are you emotionally mature? Can you handle these sort of energies? Will they go to your head and you start like doing stupid things and that? Because I've got a bit of a temper sometimes, and I could like fly off the handle and like start just going crazy and that will not. So that could be terrible, and that won't be allowed to happen. Until you'll have to the higher beings that have got control these powers and allow you to have them, or even if you yourself, you will police yourself on these higher levels, just like people in the Matrix police themselves, so that you won't allow yourself to have these energies. Um, there'll be parts of your with all this top half of the tree. It's really about unpicking all the programming in the subconscious and unconscious, and making it opening the channels up to these higher energies in the mental plane. When we get onto the mental plane, and especially the spiritual plane, um, we will start to have access to those energies, in like properly. And so you might, if you don't feel up to it, you can drop out of this course at any time, obviously. Um, I'm having to keep a veil up when I'm making these videos at the moment because, you know, who knows whether I've got these access to these powers already or not. It's not something I really want to divulge if I have or not. I don't see the value of letting people know one way or the other. Just guess. But yeah, that's the question for today. I'll probably think I'll just leave this video as it is for today because it's such a big deal. This question of responsibility, because Mars is the planet of power, and with power comes responsibility. And it's just something that's worth meditating on for 40 minutes and give it some serious thought.